Hello, good people. It is Gigi here with Invite the Lights YouTube channel, coming to you with your couple daily dose of Justin Bieber fever. Okay, so latest thing with Justin is that he's actually supposedly cutting back on work to spend more time with Hailey. Now, for those of you who follow my channel, I've always read his energy as wanting to leave, wanting to go away. I've also said to you guys, I feel like he's somehow either getting relayed to what's going on in these readings, or she is, or the both of them are. And one of the reasons why is because when I talked about his hair being messy, it was like, I think a couple days later. Okay, sorry. I just got a quick message that came in. But a couple days later or a day later, something like that, he was seen like putting his hair back and stuff like this. And then, you know, all these little things that we won't go into right now. And this is their life, of course. So, you know, it is what it is. Hello, guys. How are you? All right. So let's see what's going on here with Justin. Give me 1 second, you guys. I really want to make sure that I'm clearing these cards. So it's just going to be silent again for a second, you guys. Hello, hello, Andrea. How are you? Give me 1 sec here, you guys. I just want to come back to focusing on Justin. I need 1 more second. I don't feel like it's clicked yet. You know what I mean? So sorry about that. Just bear with me for a second, you guys. One second here. Okay. Right, card has fallen. Give me 1 second. This is very interesting. Hello, hello. Oh my God, I feel like Bonnie. You have never seen my face before, but thank you so much for the compliment. I'm not sure I'm ready to go, like, put my face on YouTube yet, but I don't know. It's just one of those things, right? When I do private readings, though, people see my face. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I feel like Justin actually feels stuck. Again, the same cards are coming up. Again, this card, this Nine of Pentacles always comes up. It's like, to me, he's like functioning as a single person, very isolated. So what is this facade about? I also feel like he's a little bit overwhelmed, like with his money. He's overwhelmed with this situation. He really feels like, look at these cards, you guys. There is nothing in here that shows any love to any of these cards, even though you guys don't read cards. Anything in there looking happy and loving to you? This is Justin and Hailey I asked about. So I'm just like, what the hey is going on? I might ask you guys again just to be patient for like 30 seconds, maybe even 40. I'm gonna see what additional information I get from the cards or whatever, because I was having a hard time kind of concentrating. But nevertheless, I mean, you know, I'm connecting, but I still want to hone in a little bit more with Justin. Let's see what's going on here. I still feel like don't care. There's something going on with Selena there. Only because I read the cards so much on them now. I kind of know which cards are corresponding a bit. I will clarify some things though. So let me just take these up really quickly. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, by the way, the other day is what I was trying to say. So we had this card that came in, right? I don't know if you remember. It was something like the Knight of Wands, and then the card that represents Hailey, and then a card that represents dropping something. I don't know if you guys remember me saying that. Like, there's something that's being dropped here. And then what I saw is the next day they apparently he had canceled some kind of charity event. He was supposed to go. He was supposed to be on a plane there. He was on his way, and then he kind of cancels. Like, look, I can't go out on after all. So he just made like a video or something. I was like, oh, you know what? That's what those cards were trying to say. And what I saw is that. I think it was like an Ace of Wands or something. So there was that represented, no, it was the Ace of Swords, and then this card, Hailey's card, and then dropping the issue. Sorry, I don't know if you guys saw that. But I was like, that's what those cards were really saying, is that she got in the way. She got in the way, and he just ended up just dropping the event. And that's what those cards were about. So there's like this thing where the way certain stuff is being reported and then the way things are showing up energetically in these cards are just completely different. So let's just take a look. Again, I feel like he's, there's this level of isolation. I feel like she has to freaking know this. She has to know this. She has to feel this, He's overwhelmed with dealing with her, so he entertains it, but it is not fulfilling, let me tell you. He's looking out. He's trying to figure out what he is going to do, but I feel like he doesn't know what the hell he's going to do. I mean, and he's in a really rough place, you guys, because he's got to be on. He's kind of like in the place where Ariana Grande was, where she's kind of dealing with Mac Miller, and his death, let alone. But she's got to be on for Pete. And, like Pete in the cards was not supportive of at all. I mean, that's the energy that was showing up. Again, the cards are for entertainment purposes only, but that's the energy that was showing up. So there's this thing of being stuck between a rock and a hard place. And, just being overwhelmed and unfulfilled at the same time because you're not really in your truth. But having to still be on for the person that you're with, to just maintain even that level of stability, because he's trying to maintain a certain level of stability in his life, but at the end of the day, Justin is hard to get through to emotionally. I told you guys that, like, she cannot fully reach him. And looking at all these damn cards, it's just like, she has to know this stuff, okay? Enough with this bullshit. This girl has to know. So, let me just take a look at this. We're over here now on the timeline. Let me just take a look at this stuff. There's a level of obedience that he has with her because he needs stability. There's a certain level of stability right now that he does need. I think it would be the worst thing for him to actually be alone, even though he is already alone. I think Justin should know, dude, you are already alone in this relationship. Like, this is horrible. It's horrible. And it's not like, let's say, it's not like Hailey's fault. But it's that Justin actually doesn't have any guidance. Like, he doesn't have any real guidance around him. These cards are screaming it. There's no real guidance. There's no one to truly sit down with. And I wonder, somebody, Kim J, are you in here? I know Kim J asked me to do a reading on Scooter Braun. So I don't know Scooter Braun. So I had to watch one of his videos or whatever. And I feel like in general, Scooter Braun is like a straightforward guy who tries to be honest, like based on what I saw, but I would have to look at other evidence to see that. But based on what I saw, he seemed very straightforward. So I'm like, how do you have this manager, but you are like this and this and that. But then again, that's easy to happen when you have a manager who could be fired. They can only say so much, you know. So he just doesn't have anybody. He doesn't have anybody. So he's of course looking for stability, but somebody needs to grab him and say, okay, dude, you have to get yourself either into a really good workshop. And I want to say this right here, Justin, if you're watching, the Open the Heart workshop is for you based on the cards I've seen. Those are really amazing group of people. They're a little bit older. So I don't know if they still do them, but Peter Watson, he's amazing. You get in that workshop and they just have everything in there for you to confront anger, fear, everything. And it's a container. It's a place where you feel safe because other people are vulnerable as well. So, and I'm going out on a limb because I normally don't tell my business, but I took that workshop ages ago and it was so amazing. It really, like, the effect, it's just like a 2-day workshop and it uses Gestalt therapy and other things, but they're really, really good at creating a safe container for you to really get through some things. I would see him, like, I would tell him, go into that, start there to get the stuff out of the body. Number 2, I would tell him, do yoga. People don't know the power of yoga and how much stress it can get out of your body, how much trauma it can get out of your body. I mean, yoga is hard. A lot of people think yoga is just like straight bullshit. Yoga is no joke. It will totally kick your ass. Just go and do an hour-long power yoga. You will be sweating everywhere, all over the place, ready to die, but feeling amazing afterwards. So, I mean, those are certain things. And then just starting to, first he needs to get all that trauma out of his body, get it out. A lot of us don't even know or realize, I'm kind of going on a speech here, but I do want to do this because just in case he is kind of watching or somebody is watching. But we don't realize that when we do experience trauma or traumatic experiences, it doesn't have to be hardcore trauma. It's just even anything, being isolated at school in the 2nd grade and feeling like an outcast. Those feelings get pushed down, but they get recorded into the muscles. And you'll see that as you are moving through yoga poses and things like that, sometimes you'll feel like you want to cry or whatever, or you'll feel an amazing release, an emotional release, or just a freedom, because all of those things are recorded in the body and it's super unhealthy. It's why a lot of people also end up sick. So I'll move on. All right. So we have here, like I said, again, I've told you guys this before, she's a level of stability for him. And there's a level of dependency on her as well. The way a dog depends on its master, in a way. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, guys. I'm not saying he's a dog. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, take away the dog dynamic and just take away that in a way that an animal does, even though an animal has all of its amazing energy and all of that in its own right. But that dependency, that emotional dependency that an animal has on you, kind of. Right now, like I was saying, I know, I was originally saying in their very first reading that this situation is kind of oxygen for him, but it's starting to turn into carbon monoxide, let's say. So I know he's going to have to do something. I think he's a little bit idle though. And he's just kind of staying with her. But in his heart, to me here, there's this love offer. There's this wish for a love offer and a second chance. And based on all my readings, it would be with Selena. Somebody is blocking somebody out. Oh, I know what this is. He hasn't made a decision yet. That's what happened. He's at a standstill. this is the thing that most people do when they're afraid to make a move, just to give you an idea of what that energy is. So it's so much easier for him right now to just ride the tide with Hailey, especially if Hailey has seen a video like this, is like, you know what, let me do this, because she always comes up in espionage spy mode, you know, she never comes up in any other energy really. So, you know, I've noticed the change in the cards, you know, I noticed him really wanting to leave, but now, you know, it's more this energy. Well, let me, like, you know, I'm out on a limb. Let me just hold on to the bit that I have. You guys get that, right? So let me see what's going on here. I think also as well, listen, Selena is sacred, okay? And I feel like Justin feels like, you know what? First of all, I don't want you people in my business, you know, and I'm reading the energy here, but I'm reading the energy that's just available. I'm not going into his energy field, taking personal information. Nevertheless, we are being a little nosy, but I try to make it from a good place, you know. So what I'm saying is that he doesn't want any of his impact indirectly on Selena. Okay. So meaning that if he, let's say, if he doesn't dress right, if he leaves his hair a mess, I'm giving just rough examples that might not be true, but just what I'm trying to say to illustrate. Okay. If he starts combing his hair now back a little bit more and stops dressing how people say, oh, they look homeless. You know, he and Hailey look so homeless. They're starting to dress a little bit better now, it seems to me. A little neater. He wants to make sure that he does hold the line for Selena so that things can't be speculated about. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, look at him. Look at his hair. Is out of place. Oh, he is just distraught on not being able to go back to Selena. You know, that type of thing. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But he's aware of that. And he does not want to do anything that will have a severe media impact or social media impact on Selena. So I think that's some of what's driving him as well, silently. He feels very strongly about it. And I feel like if he had the ability to come out and say, stop fucking with her, he would. All right, so let's go on here. Right now, Hailey kind of provides, again, it's just re-illustrating. Hailey does provide a level of stability, but Justin feels most comfortable with Selena, just period. Period, point blank. All right, he's beginning to realize his real vitality and equilibrium comes from being with her. I don't think, you know, I've never followed them before. I understand that he has dated other girls while dating her, and it was just a bit of a mess. But they're divine partners. So a lot of times, you know, those kind of partnerships are a bit of a mess because those are two people who have come in this world to clear up karma and use each other to develop. So a lot of that instability goes on before stability comes in. But my whole point is that now that they've had some time apart, the math comes in, you know, the math comes in where it's just like, I could really like lose this this could be it, you know, now I'm married. This could really be it for us. And I'm realizing now I have ultimate stability and equilibrium with her. I'm not saying that he's going to get back together with her, guys. I'm not saying that. I think there's a little bit more of a road and it just keeps like going out a little further now. So these cards fell out. Apparently they really, Jesus, these are the same cards, you guys. How many people have been watching these videos and know these are the same cards? Unrequited love. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. It's not unrequited love. Unrequited love is in here. Pay attention to the red flags. Okay. That was the first one, and it landed over here. I feel like, he's already isolated, period. And I feel like the only person who he really does allow past a barrier is Selena. But in any case, he's already super isolated over here, like emotionally. I think I don't think his trust level is that great. I don't think Hailey has created enough of a safe space for him to truly connect with her, as not as this Justin Bieber, but as this being who just has the name Justin Bieber. You understand, guys, those are two different things, right? So making the effort, pay attention to the red flags, make the effort. There's reconciliation, which this card always comes up with him and Selena from my very first reading on those two. You deserve love. We've gotten that before for him. Heart-to-heart conversations, as opposed to being in this fear and survival mode. God, he's in his lowest form. He's in so much more of a higher commanding space when he's with this other woman, Selena. When he's with this woman, he is in his lowest capacity, basically. And we've gone over this kind of before, but in different words. So heart-to-heart conversations. This is his karmic lesson to start beginning to take accountability for his life in a different way, like starting to, as opposed to being managed all the time, like now you're managing your life, your space, the direction of your life, who comes in it, who stays out of it, and who is giving the proper energetic impact on you. So there's a heart-to-heart conversation that's being called for here. And based on what this marriage is, I mean, it's just time to release that. Again, we've gotten this card before. And even though it says release your ex, I'm not going to be biased. So you guys take it how you want to take it. Your gut will speak to you on it. But it has used itself to represent this situation with Hailey, okay? Even though she's not necessarily an ex, but she has been an ex before. So, and these romance angel cards are a bit limited. So, excuse me, following the timeline, there's a heart-to-heart conversation that really needs to happen where this really needs to be released. The reason why I'm not saying, for those of you like, oh my God, you're being so biased. Oh my God, you're just trying to make it that. Based on what I've seen over here, is that there's a second chance being wanted. The rapport, the regard for Selena is totally different. It's totally in a good space. So let me read and shut the fuck up. Express your love. And then there's this unrequited love. So I think that there really is, what it says is, of course, there's really a heart-to-heart conversation that needs to happen. But also when he's ready to have that heart-to-heart conversation with himself, that he can create his own safe space. He can be okay alone, and again, it's healing family issues. So in addition to that, that card was still like hanging out over here separately. But in addition to that, I feel like there's very interesting words that actually Drake had said and put this situation in probably something that Justin would resonate with. He said, Drake said, my parents gave me like a childhood that I couldn't wrap my mind around. Something like that. So I feel like Justin also needs to come to grips with that. I think he needs to have some heart-to-heart conversations with his parents and say, hey, this didn't leave me in an okay place. And I get it. You're a human being. You can't get everything right, but I need to let you know this didn't leave me in a good place. And I didn't feel heard. I feel like this whole thing where he is just like, I don't feel heard. I don't feel seen. All right. So let's see what's going on here. Again, I feel like initially he did go into this situation with Hailey, like with good intentions. He wanted to work, wanted to take care of her. But he also wants to work. You know what I mean? He also wants to work. But with her, I feel like, you know, there's some emotional manipulation here. That's what I think. I don't want to spend all day, like, pulling cards and stuff to. Yeah, you know what I kind of feel like, he'll be like, "Oh, I have to go to the studio." And she'll be like, "Hey, look, you know what? Just play this video game with me." I don't even know if they play video games, but just this rough example. Or, let's just relax, or, type thing. It has become an issue, especially with him traveling away totally. Again, here's the Eight of Cups. I mean, how many times do we get this card every single one of Justin's readings? Guys, if you've been watching this video, thank you. Welcome. If you've been watching it for more than 10 minutes, you know my usual spiel. Please hit the like button because it is helping YouTube to know that this video is important. And this is why I also put in the work, not only to help you guys get some understanding, but also to help me reach more people in sharing this information. So please do hit the like button. All right. So we have Eight of Cups. Okay, you guys, there's like 30 of you in here. Can you please hit the like button? Thank you very much. Okay, so there's Eight of Cups, Four of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Three of Wands. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Let's see what's going on here. So guys, I feel like, this is something that is disturbing him. He doesn't know how to bring this up. I don't feel like this is the other way around where Hailey just wants to work and Justin is like wanting to keep her home. I don't see that. I just don't. I do not see that. I don't see that. I don't see that. Hell no. He wants to get out of there. He just, like, this is the worst card in the deck, basically, next to the devil. Okay? I mean, this is a person who wants to leave, sneak off, get out. What's going on here? Who is this? Yeah, and I think he's really going to talk to her about this. There may be some really big shit coming along here. Especially with this Tower card here and this Ace of Swords. There may be some really just blowout kind of like, you know what? Enough of this. I'm going. I don't care. Like, get over yourself. I'm married to you. Like, I need to go. Type shit. Again, I feel like the completion card. I mean, well, this could be travel too. I told you that, guys, that, I mean, I feel like he really, he really wants to travel. How many times you gotta say that? How many times? So anyway. But he is, I saw a couple of other cards that I didn't want to necessarily regard, but I know they're trying to tell me. He is trying, like, how am I going to do this? He's so overwhelmed. And, it's even kind of keeping him up a little bit at night and in a lot of worry, a little bit in his head about it. I do not see one thing in here, with the exception of this card. And this is such a more friendship, innocent card. But sometimes this is a soulmate card, but not coming out over the damn tower. Like, and all this drama over here. No. I don't see one card in this reading that says there is love in this relationship. I see wanting to walk away from something that you invested time in. That's the literal meaning of this card. I mean, there's no real cups. The cards that are cups here are, with the exception of this one, but it's coming out over the tower, so it's not good at all. As you can see, that's the Tower card. That doesn't look positive. These two are negative. This is a total refusal, and this is definitely wanting to get away. And especially in this deck, this carries a lot more of the energy of this Seven of Swords, which is sneaking away in the night, basically. It is just not, you know, I mean, but I do see travel, wanting to travel, and then getting, I think he's developing himself. He's strengthening and developing himself enough to say something and be okay with it so he can go. Or either this represents him maybe going on tour sometime soon. There's something. 2 cards here going, okay, travel, yo. All right. All right, I think this represents the marriage. There is this refusal, though. But this card always comes up. I feel like she's never, ever able to reach him. Like, this girl, she needs some lessons herself. Like, I mean, there's just a guy out there who's better for you, much more available for you, girl. Girl, come on. So there's the 3 of Pentacles there. The only thing that's holding them together is her constantly cornering him with her spying and guilt tripping, let's say, indirect guilt tripping, the father getting involved too, and then this actual legally binding marriage, but there's something interesting that's coming in really fast that, again, he may be waiting for, so we need to see what's going on with that. I kind of want to leave it there, though. Let me see what's going on with him. There we go. I was trying to, yeah, I think he's just biding some time right now, and he's, making plans. That's this card. That's this card again. It's amplified by this card. You know what I mean. There's definitely a new start there. There's this wonderful Ace of Cups is sometimes a new love, or really in this context, I feel like it's a regeneration. I don't feel like it's any kind of new love. I mean, I use the romance angel cards here, which focus, they're specifically calibrated for love, and then we saw what it was. Pay attention to red flags, unrequited love, or at least your ex, and all of this stuff. And there's just no real happiness, but I'm going to go take a look at this Ace of Cups. Let me see what time it is here. Excuse me. I mean, and the feeling of this constantly, this card coming up, this unfulfillments, big time. Feeling like, I basically feel like he got in this marriage, though, to really prove a point, but it ended up being an empty victory, So it's a hard lesson to learn, but he'll never do that again. Let's see. What is this Ace of Cups? So let's see if we give Hailey a fair chance, even though. What's this Ace of Cups? I don't think this is him renewing himself on tour, but we shall see. Just kind of wanted to come out, but it won't. So I'm going to leave it. Those were some good cards, though. Hey, guys, thank you for the likes. If you guys have been hanging out in the room and feeling like this video is informative, please do hit the like button. It does help the channel. It helps YouTube to know, and it does help me while I'm doing all of this stuff here, working hard to get my channel a little more recognized, to bring the message to a lot more people. So thank you. Oh, meh. All right, look. What's this look like to you guys? Who knows? Like a heartbreak card. I'm not laughing or anything, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of heartbreak over this new relationship or whatever, and also there's just this unhappiness with this. I feel like, again, this family of hers is they're a little bit burdensome, you know, and how I feel like I've seen him as cattle in this reading, thinking about it, I've seen him as cattle like more than once, and I feel like he feels kind of herded in because the family, you know, or hers. I also feel like this is the end to Selena's mom getting in the middle of their friendship and relationship. I'm not going to read off any further than that, though, right now. I'm just going to leave it there. And I think I'm guided to maybe next week. And maybe next week, if you guys don't see a reading next week, unless something big happens, we'll be guided to like 7 days from now, do another reading on him. So let's do truth bombs. What is this? Okay, so here we go. That's your truth bomb, Justin, the shortest way. Okay, and then hold on, for Baldwin, people heal. I don't think they're even speaking to her, but that's okay. All the excuses, and this one's for Selena. Procrastination can be a form of intuition. I wonder what the procrastination is about. Definitely has to do with this soul bond that they have. I feel like there'll be some reconciliation coming for sure. They'll both be in a better place. But again, this will be, whoa, I mean, you know, there's a couple of timelines here. These cards come up, but this one now comes up with this love offer over it. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things and a lot of events. I've never seen cards really so universal, like which dimensional situation is he going to choose? You know, like this really depends, because there's like this thing where he could come in and ditch this marriage and then really just like, you know what? I'm in my heart center and go for a love offer with Selena here. So hold on one second. Let me just make sure of something. I want to read this as far as Hailey is concerned too. Okay, so what I see is just strict disappointment. I mean, she knows this man is so heartbroken, and he's also just very disappointed. It's like very unfulfilling. So she may, I don't think so based on the way her cards show up, but I'm just going to try to read this for Hailey too. She may come back in with another love offer, but you know, I don't think this pertains to them, but let's see what's going on for Hailey really quickly. Where am I? Okay. Because I kind of want to do a little check-in on Scooter Braun, because I know Kim J, are you in here? Nope, Kim J's not. Kim J asked about Scooter Braun. Yeah. So when I ask about Hailey, it's like this again. Remember, we got this card for her and Justin the other day. So I feel like, you know, there's this sense of she's just, you know, whatever it is, whatever form it is, it's just not a fit. Let me just leave it like that. It's just not a fit. It's not an energetic fit. I see no love in any of these cards. The Ace of Cups that we saw, that big cup with the water, that sort of suggesting new love. And then when I asked about it regarding Hailey, that Five of Pentacles came over, that card I just showed you where the woman is carrying the man. But I definitely feel that he feels like this is not the situation for me. And I don't feel like my fans really care for this. I don't feel the public overall, you know, there's something there with that too. And I feel like this just isn't a fit and everybody else gets it, you know, but he is healing. This is like, you know, this is like a really big lesson for him. Definitely. He's growing and changing, all that good stuff. I'm not going to take the rest of those cards. This one wanted to come, though. He's still going to have to defend himself really big. That family's not going to let him go right away. This is going to be tough for him. And how he's going to have to leave is just to come out of his face and be like, look, I don't want to be with you anymore. That's just the end of it. This is not working. I don't want to be with you. I feel trapped, you know. I feel like he imagines this, you know. I feel like he imagines this sometimes, but then he's like, oh, I don't know what to do to get out of this. I don't want to be like a douchebag. You know, I'm not trying to be funny, but you know, a reason why is because Hailey knows this. How does Hailey view Justin? Let's see. How does Hailey view Justin? This all wanted to come out. This card usually represents Selena. Okay, like time after time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of leave it there, but I'm going to try to read these for Hailey. Let's see what's going on here. This card a lot of times represents her father, who is just like Hailey's father, a manipulator. There are no cards in here that represent Hailey typically. There are a couple of things here. So there are factors. How she sees Justin, she sees him as amazing, okay? She sees him as this super creator, which he is. Super manifester. This is how she sees him, you know, and she sees him, I think in her mind, she secretly is like, Selena and Justin, they are such a great fit, you know, like in her mind, because she knows the both of them. And she knows their creative process and creative power. These two really have a lot of power. And most people will not understand the level of creative power that they have because most people just don't have it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You can harness it, but isn't it take you some time to really hone it? Maybe a couple lifetimes as opposed to where these people are and how much they can open to allow creation to come in. You know, anybody can say, I wish to be the greatest star. I wish, you know, to touch millions of people, but then you don't believe it, you know? So these people have an amazing amount of fortitude because they believe it at the same time so they can receive it. Okay, so that's a little bit of law of attraction 101 for you guys out there. You're welcome. Anyway, I'm just being obnoxious, but she looks at him as really like amazing. So she really gets a front seat to see actually this guy. You know, we think he's got a lot of issues and stuff with, but when he's in his element, kind of like Kanye too in the cards. I know, don't everybody just relax. Kanye's cards come out fucking amazing too. If you haven't seen any of my some of my readings on Kanye as well, Kanye's like on some next stuff to a certain extent because he's got some extra stuff going on, but this is a powerful card, and she's been able to really see him at work, almost like a magician. You know, he's able to really pull stuff in, and so is Selena. There's this thing about, I feel like she feels that their relationship also is solid. Like I said, she looks at him as being like almost a better match. This is almost partially consciously, partially subconsciously. So she is like a little insecure. With the Two of Air, though, I also feel that she senses that this partnership can't be touched. I think she knows this. Like, she cannot reach this boy. You know? She can't reach him. All right. I mean, she gets his body. You know what I mean? Like, what she's getting is a shell. Okay, but she's not getting this soul. She's not getting that. She's not getting that person. She's just getting this Justin Bieber fingers and, you know, density. When I say density, I mean the body. I mean not the soul. Okay. So, you guys are not going to know what that is. So never mind. Just strike even. No, what you talking about? Density. All right, so with the two of air here, there's really no comparison for this partnership. All right. And I feel like with Hailey, which in a way this kind of does look like her, like she's just in fan mode, okay? It's just a lot of daydreaming, a lot of wow, starstruck. Ha. I just, and that's going to be like a bit of a bore. I don't know what this 8 of fire is. It's going to be interesting. This is interesting. I don't understand this. All right, look, I don't know what this is. I normally wouldn't read this like this because, well, maybe because this card is already being used. What is this? What does this mean? I don't know if there's going to be news of another marriage maybe they're going to or whatever, or news that there's news that something's ending as well. But this is also like a developmental thing. All right, in the wildest scenario, let's say, of me reading the possibility of these cards, he could say, "I don't want to be with you anymore, but we're going to live together for the purpose of not having people, the press and everything in our business. We're going to make a slow transition." I don't see where it says slow transition, even though this says this is an ending. This is definitely an ending, a very big one. But that's the scenario here. What the hell is this? And maybe with this Hierophant, he's doing this for reasons to preserve his money right now. In the press and on social media, it'll look like they are celebrating, but and enjoying themselves. But this is he's single as fuck. Okay, really. Shit is crazy. I don't even know. I feel like I'm like, are these cards really what they are? Like, whoa. I don't know what the hell these cards mean, but that makes sense if I just take it the way I read it, the way that they showed up, the way I read it. That makes sense. But I just feel like, oh my God, really? Could that really happen? I guess it could. So let's go on really quickly to Scooter Braun. All right, I was going to do a different reading for that, but since we don't have time and there's like 51 of you guys in the chat, hello everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along. If you're enjoying this, please do hit the like button. It helps us get on your timeline faster, and it'll assist me as I'm working here, bringing all this information to you, letting you know that I am succeeding in making my channel bigger and me, reaching more fans and people who want to know this information and people who are relieved to hear certain information, even though the cards are for entertainment purposes. So please hit the like button. All right, let me take a look at the has anybody heard, I haven't read all the comments, there are quite a few here, but has anyone heard covers Hava? If you watch any of my videos, I don't think they're going to last, but the marriage is going to run its course a bit. Andrea. Oh, thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys enjoy. It's so awesome. Oh, Bonnie, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you for that lovely compliment. It's really nice. Hey, witchy woman, I'm glad you caught me live. I tend to do videos like at this time of day. I don't know, because I happen to have just like an hour free. I don't know if it'll last as the holidays and everything. I'm going to get a lot busier, but yeah, if you guys kind of want to catch, just kind of keep a little bit of an ear out on your phone, hit that bell or whatever that thing is. I never tell you guys to hit it, but hit that, and it usually happens around this time. The lives. First time catching you live. I'm sure Taco Scooter portrays himself. But I saw this Larry King, thing, and the way he commented on his child, he seems quite thoughtful to me, but I still can't get a full handle on him in 30 minutes. So he seemed quite thoughtful, like he thinks about life and he thinks about his impact, and it's important for him to raise a child, that is going to make sense in the world, and things like that. So I feel like he's a thoughtful person, meaning he actually considers things and he tries to understand his impact. Hi, Loopy sister. I hope I pronounced that right. Brianna, hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone in the chat as well, she says. Yeah, guys, thank you guys for hitting the like button. It's just, I don't mean to get like that, but, these readings, they're a lot of work, and if the audience is just sitting there and they're enjoying it and the like button doesn't get hit at the least, then it's almost like the work goes out of the window because the views don't go up, and YouTube is not rotating it, especially because it's alive. Honestly, what I really should be doing is what I used to be doing, which is make the video first and then upload it. But it's so much effort, and then I have to edit and all this. I don't mind, but right now I don't have the time to be sitting there editing everything. Okay, Brianna, let's see what you had to say. Oh. Yeah, Brianna, I think there's definitely a lesson or something he had to learn by, marrying her, Hailey. And, I think it was more so the way the cards show it to me, it was more so to prove a point. And he was coming into it, there is that element there, but he also was coming into it like, okay, I really am going to start my life over again. I'm going to try and I'm going to go ahead and do this. And she just caught him on a day, like she caught him in a moment. Let's just go get married at the peace, just the peace, justice of the peace. Guys, who does that? Most women want a real wedding. Let's go just get married at the justice of the peace. Come on. It's almost like, I don't mean to laugh, but it's almost like taking advantage of, like somebody who goes to their rich grandmother who's half senile, and all of a sudden the will is all in their name. Like, yes, she left everything to me, like just taking advantage of people, like when they're in a really vulnerable state, as it screams of it to a certain extent, because it's like, look, you love me. Let's just plan the marriage. Let's plan the marriage so our parents can be there. The people we love can be there. Not let's go into some sweaty courthouse in downtown Manhattan. And I'm from New York. I know I've done work in the law world, and I know, like, like those courthouses, some of them do have nice rooms, or the buildings and everything. Like everything is old in New York City, okay? It's not more so like LA and other cities where things are just done in the last 60 or 70 years. Like New York is old and the buildings are old. So, I mean, I just look at that and I'm just like, really, girl? All right, so let me go. When will they split? Princess, I can't put a timeline on that. If you've been watching my videos, Princess, you will know I cannot put a timeline on that. There's a such thing called free will. And what we've been seeing is, and I told you guys this in my other readings, we're seeing Justin's thought process and his emotional process. And just because people have emotions doesn't mean that they act on them. They're just processing them out. So there's this thing where, I mean, in a perfect world, if he could just get up and leave and everything could work right with Selena, in my opinion, based on what I've seen in these cards, which are for entertainment purposes only, he would be with Selena. Okay, he would be out of this as of yesterday and with Selena. Anya, you're welcome. Yeah. Again, the situation with Selena's family is because it's that divine partnership. It's like the complications that come with that, and then also at the same time too, you don't have a handle on appreciating real love when you've been abused your life. And I'm sure I feel Justin, based on how he's been acting out, there's a certain level of abuse, kind of. It kind of reminds me of is like the horse at the zoo. I'm not trying to compare him to an animal, but I'm just saying, like, he's kind of been overworked like that, and just basically like a show pony. But after a while you could see, like, when you go to like ride horses or do something, you can see the animals are beaten down emotionally, and it's just like, oh, I don't even want to participate in this. It reminds me of the spirit of that. So being in that kind of trauma, both him and Selena, I think she shares a little bit of that. Of course, Selena has more support from her family, as we can see in the cards, and we can see from the evidence. But Justin, experienced some trauma. Someone else asked me that yesterday. I forgot who the username, but someone asked me that yesterday. He has definitely experienced some level of trauma. I won't say what kind, and I won't look into it, but he has definitely experienced some kind of trauma. It could just be abuse, like physical abuse. I'm not saying just could be, but I'm just saying, like, it could be anything, verbal abuse. It could be the violence of just, using him as a show. You're on, go, it's time for you to work, go, and, go and wow the world. It could be a violence in that way. So in any case, look, guys, I'm sorry, I can't even do this Scooter Braun thing because I am like pressed for time right now. I've got to get off in another minute. I'll do the Scooter Braun thing in a little while, and I have to change locations, I think. Thank you, Serena. Hola, Alexandra. No hablo español. Un poquito. Sorry. I've asked, like, there's this group of people who speak Spanish, and they're like, Español, por favor. Por favor. It's kind of like, guys, I have asked people to help translate. So if you guys are out there and have time to translate for the people who do not speak English and do speak Spanish, awesomeness, because they really are like, please. All right. So guys, I'm going to get ready to go. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. And as you do that, I'm going to just see if anything else interesting comes up. All right. Justin's definitely in idea mode. He's definitely clearing fog, which is good, but that's probably going to take some time. And here is Hailey, because Hailey's going to be there. Hailey is going to be there, and it's not in a good way. This is like one of the worst cards in the deck, really. It's like super nasty card. She may not be super nasty, but there's something. She always shows up in this card. First of all, this is a page, so this is like almost a child. Like when you look at Selena shows up as a queen of queens. Selena doesn't even ever really show up as a queen. She always shows up as the Empress, which is the Queen of Queens. This girl shows up as a page, which isn't anything near. It's not even a knight. It's under a knight. It's 2 steps below a queen, and she always shows up in the worst. This is the worst of the swords, and it's the worst of the entire suit deck, I guess you call it. It's the worst. It's just one of the worst cards in the deck to get, and she is just in defensive mode with him all the time. And there's a lot of selfishness and so on. I've explained that before, though. So she's there, not in a good way. I don't see any love between these two. There's a decision now. There says there's love there, but this card represents decision between two people, basically. A decision to, yeah. There's a decision to want to go on tour, to want to travel, to want to be me, to want to be free, and then ultimately be free to who I love, who really is going to bring some value to my life. All right, guys. So please do hit the like button. There's like 53 of you guys in the room. So there's probably a good 20 of you who have been sitting here watching this video. I'd appreciate you just leaning forward and hitting the like button as well. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So ciao for now, and we shall talk soon. Bye.